Hello folks, Everchanger here, and welcome back to more Pokemon Crystal. Last time, we made our way through Victory Road, and we managed to make our way to the Pokemon League. And this time, we are going to be mounting our challenge against the Pokemon League. However, I would like to make mention of something important. If you come back here to your mother's house, you may have forgotten this, because a lot of players will go the entire game without making use of this feature. Make sure you remember, your mother keeps track of your money. You can either make it so she stops or starts saving your money depending on what you have your setting at currently. You can deposit money and you can withdraw money. Basically, it shows you how much you hold with you, how much you have saved with your mother, and you are allowed to take out or put in however much you want. And if you want to get items to prepare for the Pokemon League, you might want to come get money from here. Also, if you are concerned about losing at the Pokemon League, you are allowed to deposit all of your money with your mother, because money held with your mother will not be lost if you lose a battle. Also, it's technically a valid training strategy to deposit all your money with your mother and go on Hail Marys against the Elite Four to train for experience that way, and then lose on purpose before you mount your actual final assault. Anyway, with that, I would like to make my way back to Indigo Plateau, and we will be going over the team because there have been some changes since last time. And here we are at Indigo Plateau, so I think I will go over our team that we are going to be taking on the Pokemon League with. First off, we have Feraligatr right here. As you can notice, I leveled everyone up to level 45, which is really nice, and it also means we crossed that magical level 40 threshold. In the nearly 4 hours of grinding I did, this was my favorite moment. Anyway, right here Feraligatr's holding a Mystic Water, and it knows Surf, Iron Tail, Slash, and Ice Punch. As you can see, I used 2 of our PP ups on Surf right there, and there we have Feraligatr's stats. I got Slash at level 38, and I taught it TM23 Iron Tail, which we obtained from defeating Jasmine. Here we have Crobat, holding a Sharp Beak with the moves Bite, Fly, Wing Attack, and Mean Look. I have Mean Look on here from level 42, and I should point out Mean Look is not intended to help me in the Pokemon League in any way whatsoever, but it will be very helpful for something we're going to be doing later on in our adventure, so that's why I opted to get that. Anyway, there are Crobat stats, and over here we have Heracross. Heracross is interesting, holding a black belt with the moves Thief, Reversal, Takedown, and Fury Cutter. This is, I believe, a completely different moveset from what it had prior to the grinding session. Takedown we got at level 35, Reversal we got at level 44, Thief we got from TM46, which we found in the Team Rocket hideout, and Fury Cutter we got from TM49, which was the prize for defeating Bugsy. Heracross is a weird case because it's going to be a little bit before it actually gets really good, and honestly, it doesn't really get too many great fighting type moves, so it's mainly going to be a bug type for our purposes. But yeah, it's not going to be getting anything much better than Fury Cutter until somewhere in the 50s, so yeah, we're going to have to wait on that a little bit. So Reversal is all we can use our black belt with. Reversal is an interesting move. Basically what it does is it's a fighting type move that does more damage the less HP the user has. Not entirely sure how well it's going to work out for us, but it's honestly the best I could do. Anyway, here are Heracross's stats. Next up we have Marowak, holding Soft Sand with the moves Earthquake, Bone Meringue, False Swipe, and Fire Punch. Earthquake I used 2 more PP ups on, because Earthquake starts out with 10 power points, and I really wanted to have some more on there. We learned False Swipe at level 39, and just like Mean Look, not intended to help in the league whatsoever. It's mainly intended to help out with some of the stuff we're going to be doing later on in our adventure. It is a damaging move that cannot KO the opponent. It will always leave them with at least 1 HP. Anyway, Earthquake is from TM26 that we found in Victory Road, and Fire Punch is from TM48, which I purchased off-screen at the Goldenrod department store. Anyway, here are Marowak's stats. Next up we have Espeon, holding the black glasses with the moves Psybeam, Shadow Ball, Bite, and Return. I also used a Calcium on Espeon to boost its special stats a little bit. Now, some people might question this moveset for Espeon, but honestly the reason I picked it was actually pretty sentimental, believe it or not. Back when I first got this game back in 2001, I also got the guidebook by Prima Games for Pokemon Crystal not too terribly long after that. I read that guidebook religiously, and I actually still have it. In fact, I'll put a picture of it on screen right now. Boop. And in that guidebook, the game will actually suggest this moveset for Espeon. I read that passage countless times, but I've never actually tried it before, and I really, really wanted to give it a shot. And I went and checked. We're going to be facing 26 Pokemon in the Pokemon League. This set can do super effective damage to 15 of them. Yeah, kind of crazy. Anyway, nothing here has changed except for Return. I got Return from the lady that only shows up on Sundays on the 5th floor, I think it is, of the Goldenrod department store. It's worth noting that this lady will give you 1 TM per Sunday. This does include duplicates, meaning you can get multiple return TMs if you are persistent enough. Anyway, these are Espeon's stats right here. That special attack is looking mighty fine. Also, I should note, at level 42, Espeon attempted to learn the move Psych Up, but I opted not to go for it. Basically what that move does is it copies all of the stat changes that have been applied to the target, which is pretty interesting. And last up we have our beautiful, shiny Electabuzz, holding a magnet with the moves Thunder Punch, Fire Punch, Dizzy Punch, and Ice Punch. It's a very punchy Pokemon. Ice Punch we got from TM33, and Fire Punch we got from TM48, both of which we can purchase at the Goldenrod department store. Very, very cool. I also used an HP up and an Iron on Electabuzz, and that's, I believe, all of the medicine we actually have that we can use on it. Anyway, here are its stats. Now, as you can see, everyone is holding a held item that will play to their strengths, but some people might wonder why on earth Espeon is not holding a Twisted Spoon. Believe it or not, that item is actually completely unobtainable in Generation 2 without trading with Generation 1, which is part of a really weird mechanic that really, honestly, I'm not going to go over at this point because it would be really, really weird, but I'll try and remember to go over it later because it's pretty interesting. Anyway, that is an overview of the team. Now, last thing I would like to mention before we go in is in our backpack. This is our inventory that I decided to go with. I blew all of my on-hand money, but I left all of our money that was with our mother with her, so she's still got about 50,000 Pokemon dollars of our money, so I don't think we have to worry about going broke for a little while here. These two aren't going to be helping us in the league all that much, but everything up here should be pretty helpful. Anyway, with that, I think we are going to head on in and get this show on the road. Now, in case it wasn't obvious, I highly recommend you heal before going onwards. Anyway, that's it. That's the staircase to the Elite Four. Let's do it! Man, this area is so memorable. As you can notice, this area is actually unchanged from how it looked in Generation 1. It's still covered in ice. However, a new member of the Elite Four occupies this room. Welcome to Pokemon League, David. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Will. I have trained all around the world, making my psychic Pokemon powerful. And at last, I've been accepted into the Elite Four. I can only keep getting better. Losing is not an option. All of the dialogue in this area has always stuck with me because this is probably one of the best areas to grind for levels later on in the game, so I fought these guys a lot when I was younger. Anyway, Elite Four Will is opening up with a Xatu, level 40, with the moves Quick Attack, Future Sight, Psychic, and Confuse Ray. It is also a flying type, however, so I think Ice Punch is also a very, very good move to be packing against this thing. So I think we'll deck it in the face, and wow, it actually lived. That's impressive. Anyway, it is going to be dishing out Psychic because every single Pokemon on Will's team knows this move, and he really likes it. One move I really like personally is Slash because it's pretty often going to be landing critical hits, which is really, really nice. Anyway, next up is Exeggutor. I think I'm going to switch over to Espeon, and we're probably going to stick with Espeon for most of this fight just because it sweeps this guy, like seriously. Anyway, Exeggutor is level 41 with the moves Reflect, Egg Bomb, Psychic, and Leech Seed. And I'm going to be using Bite on it because Espeon, with its sky-high special attack and those black glasses, Bite does a significant amount of damage right here. And the opponent missing their attack is definitely also a bonus. Anyway, down goes Exeggutor. Now you might notice we out-leveled this guy pretty significantly, but the Elite Four actually increases in level as you go. And by the time we get to the end of this area, we are actually going to be pretty under-leveled. So, yeah, it'll ramp up as we go forward. Anyway, his next Pokemon is a second Xatu, this time level 42, with the moves Quick Attack, Future Sight, Psychic, and Confuse Ray. So same moveset, but slightly stronger. So keep that in mind. Honestly, Will is not all that difficult of an opponent, although it looks like a rising trend in this fight is me just barely not one-shotting the opponent, which is a little annoying. And of course, as with any final battles in Pokemon, these guys are going to be packing some medicine to use against you, so watch out for that, because you honestly never know when it's going to come up. Anyway, please don't use another potion. Yeah, there we go. Down goes Xatu. Got our experience for that. These guys dish out a lot of experience, and since no one has the experience share equipped, certain Pokemon are going to be leveling up very, very quickly if we use them a lot in fights. Case in point, Espeon right here being most of the way to level 46. Anyway, Jinx is level 41 with the moves Ice Punch, Double Slap, Psychic, and Lovely Kiss. I believe Lovely Kiss puts the target to sleep, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, watch out for that. Anyway, got that going right there, and he's already down to his last Pokemon. His last Pokemon is Slowbro, level 41, with the moves Curse, Amnesia, Body Slam, and Psychic. Watch out for this thing, because if it uses Curse and then hits you with a Body Slam, it's probably going to hurt. And you do not want to be taking really, really serious hits this early in the Elite Four. If you can't conquer Will, you're going to have some issues going forward. But with that, down he goes, and we have completed the first challenge of the Pokemon League. And Espeon gets to level 46 for our troubles. I can't believe it. I sure can, buddy. Even though I was defeated, I won't change my course. I will continue battling until I stand above all trainers. Now, David, move on and experience the true ferocity of the Elite Four. Indeed I will, but first things first, I am going to be healing my Pokemon. I'm going to be doing this off-screen in between every fight because it's kind of boring and you guys don't need to see it and you know exactly what I'm going to do, so I'm just going to go do it. And now that that's done, we may proceed on to the second room now that this door at the back of Will's room is open. And I really like this room because unlike most of the other rooms in the Elite Four, you're actually allowed to walk all the way around in here, which I think is really nice. Also, I believe this is actually the reused tree from Bugsy's gym, which is kind of interesting. Anyway, Elite Four member number 2 is right here. Fwahahaha! I am Koga of the Elite Four. I live in shadows, a ninja. My intricate style will confound and destroy you. Confusion, sleep, poison. Prepare to be the victim of my sinister technique. Fwahahaha! Pokemon is not merely about brute force. You shall see soon enough. I'll be honest, that's probably my favorite line in the entire game. Koga's introductory text. It just really, really stuck with me over every other line in the game. Anyway, he is opening up with an Ariados. That's a bit of a tongue twister right there. Level 40 with the moves Spiderweb, Double Team, Baton Pass, and Giga Drain. I have decided to open up with Crobat right here because this thing is very weak to flying. And I figured Crobat could use some time in the sun. Also, I forgot to mention it earlier. During my training, I used the 6 rare candies we had in order to make my life a little bit easier. So that's why Crobat is starting out with a completely empty experience bar right there, because those candies will elevate you to the next level and not a penny more. Anyway, next up we have Venomoth. Level 41 with the moves Psychic, Gust, Supersonic, and Toxic. I'm hoping we can knock it out in one shot because it has the exact same typing as Ariados. Let's see here, it's going to be close. We actually do it. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Alright, and next up we have Fortress. I am going to switch over to my Electabuzz for this one because Fortress is level 43 with the moves Protect, Spikes, Swift, and Explosion. Spikes is a new type of move that I don't think we've seen before. It is a move that is commonly known in the fandom as an entry hazard. If he uses Spikes, any Pokemon that enter our side of the battlefield that are not flying type will actually take damage when they enter the battlefield. Spikes is the only entry hazard move in Generation 2, so no Toxic Spikes, no Sticky Web, and no Stealth Rock. Anyway, quadruple weak to fire as it is Bug and Steel type, so down it goes. I think that plan worked out well. Anywho, next up is Muck. Make sure you pronounce that M very, very clearly, otherwise your mother is going to be very confused about what you just said. I do indeed speak from experience. That's a interesting story. Anyway, Muck is level 42 with the moves Sludge Bomb, Acid Armor, Minimize, and Toxic. So it actually really doesn't have many ways to directly hurt you, but if it hits you with that Toxic, you're going to be in for a bit of a rough time. So I think Espeon Psybeam will do nicely, and wow, it actually survived that. I am legitimately impressed it survived that, because like, we've all seen Espeon's special attack, and it does get the same type attack bonus boost from being a Psychic type, so yeah, that Psybeam, pretty powerful stuff. Anyway, get our experience for that, and the last Pokemon up is Crobat. I think we'll stay in for this one. Crobat is level 44 with the moves Double Team, Wing Attack, Quick Attack, and Toxic. Pretty standard stuff for a Crobat. You want to make sure it doesn't get off too many of those double teams, otherwise it's going to be really, really frustrating to hit. In fact, several of Koga's Pokemon are sort of built around making it so the opponent has difficulty hitting you, so best get them off the field as soon as possible, as we have done just there. And with that, Koga is defeated. Ah, you have proven your worth. I subjected you to everything I could muster, but my efforts failed. I must hone my skills, go on to the next room, and put your abilities to test. Indeed, but first things first, let's heal up. Well, actually, let's not heal up, because we actually managed to complete that fight without taking damage, which is pretty impressive. Anyway, here we have the third room, and I would not want to make my home here. It seems like it would be incredibly hot. Case in point, the lava. Anyway, right here we have the third member of the Elite Four. I am Bruno of the Elite Four. I always train to the extreme, because I believe in our potential. That is how we became strong. Can you withstand our power? I see no fear in you. You look determined. Perfect for battle. Ready, David? You will bow down to our overwhelming power. Hoo-ha! Alright, third Elite Four member is Bruno. Pretty familiar face to fans of the series. Anyway, he is going to open up with a Hitmontop, and I gotta say I love that animation. Level 42 with the moves Quick Attack, Dig, Detect, and Pursuit. Detect can be incredibly frustrating if your main flying type move is Fly, which I just used completely by accident, because he can protect himself, and then you basically lose 2 turns. Also, I still find it funny how it says the attack missed. Anyway, let's use Wing Attack this time, because that's what I meant to do. And let's see how much damage we can do. I'm hoping we can one-shot, but I'm not entirely confident. Oh wow, we actually did. Very good. Very, very good. Anyhow, next up we have Onyx, which is not a fighting type. This guy is a fighting type trainer, but he actually trains this Onyx for some reason. Really not sure why. This Onyx is level 43 with the moves Rock Slide, Sandstorm, Earthquake, and Bind. That Sandstorm is interesting because his Onyx is the only Pokemon that is immune to it. So, depending on your situation, it might not be the worst idea to try and bait him into using it, because any of his Pokemon that come out for the next 5 turns will actually take damage from it every single turn, which is pretty interesting. Anyway, down it goes. I mean, it's an Onyx. Pretty standard fare. And next up is my controller disconnecting. Oh boy. That's been happening more and more recently. I'm really not sure why, and it's kind of frustrating, not gonna lie. Anyway, next up we have Hitmonchan right here, and in my frustration over the controller, I forgot to switch, even though I honestly probably should have. This Hitmonchan is level 42, with the moves Ice Punch, Fire Punch, Thunder Punch, and Mach Punch. So yeah, I hope we can one-shot this thing. Unfortunately we do not, because it is packing Thunder Punch, and that is going to deal quite a... Oh. That did way less than I was expecting it to, but I mean, honestly, I'll take it. Anyway, this Surf should bring it down. Yes, it does. And let's see what he's got coming down the pipeline next. It is Hitmonlee. I would like to switch out for this one because Hitmonlee is very countered by my Espeon, but to be fair, nearly everything in the first 3 members of the Elite Four is countered by my Espeon. I just sort of want to switch it up a little bit from time to time. Anyway, gonna blast it with that Psybeam. Really trippy stuff, but I really like that kind of animation. Hitmonlee is level 42 with the moves Double Kick, Foresight, High Jump Kick, and Swagger, and it is gone. There we go. And now I believe he's only got 1 Pokemon left, and it is a doozy. Machamp is level 46 with the moves Rock Slide, Foresight, Cross Chop, and Vital Throw. Espeon resists both of those fighting type moves, so I think it's best that we keep it in. Because if we were to send out our Crobat, that Rock Slide would deal some serious pain. Also, I gotta say, I really do like the animation for Cross Chop, and yeah, it's not even very effective, and it did that much damage. Like, it's starting to get a little serious in here. I'll be honest, I feel like I probably could have completed this area with all of the team around level 42, 43-ish. I just wanted to get up to 45 because it'd make my life a little bit easier, it'd make the video a somewhat reasonable length, and also, the more I can level up now, the less I'm going to have to level up later, because oh boy are we going to have to level up later. Anyway, Espeon grows to level 47, and it is trying to learn Psychic, which is really nice. We are definitely forgetting Psybeam for Psychic, because Psychic is honestly just a more powerful version of Psybeam. Now that Espeon has Psychic, it is a monster. Unfortunately, we're not going to get many more opportunities to use it in the Elite Four. Why? How could we lose? Just like that, buddy. Just like that. Having lost, I have no right to say anything. Go face your next challenge. Alright, but first things first, you know the drill. And now that we have done that, it is onwards to room number 4. Man, we're just mowing through this place, aren't we? I like this room a lot because it's got this cool, crazy void effect, and in the remake, it's very galactic. We'll just say that. Anyway, we have Karen of the Elite Four. You're David? How amusing. I love Dark-type Pokemon. I find their wild, tough image to be so appealing, and they're so strong. Think you can take them? Just try to entertain me. Let's go. Karen trains dark types, which I don't have too terribly many counters for on the team, so I think we are going to be giving Heracross a shot to open up this fight. Anyway, Karen is starting off with an Umbreon level 42 with the moves Feint Attack, Confuse Ray, Mean Look, and Sand Attack. This thing can be a little scary simply because it's deceptively bulky. I mean, just looking at Umbreon's design, you wouldn't think that it's that bulky, but it actually is. Also, can we just take a moment to appreciate how absurd Umbreon using Sand Attack looks in this game? Like, the pose combined with just everything, it combines to make a perfect storm of what the heck did I just see come out of this game. Anyway, looks like we're getting pretty lucky on Fury Cutter. Hit 3 times in a row, even with the Sand Attack, and down it goes. Very cool. Next up, we have Vileplume. I think I'm going to switch over to... we'll do Crobat. Switch over to Crobat for this one. Vileplume is level 42 with the moves Stun Spore, Acid, Petal Dance, and Moonlight. Moonlight can be a little bit scary because this thing is capable of healing itself without... I just used Fly again. Why did I do that? I have no idea, but it actually allowed me to avoid Stun Spore, which is pretty nice actually. I think the reason I keep on accidentally using Fly is because very recently I swapped the positions of Wing Attack and Fly in my moves list, and I just have the muscle memory. I really don't mean to do that. Anyway, very interesting animation right there from Moonlight, and hopefully this Wing Attack will bring it down. I think it will? Let's see here. One thing you really don't want this thing to get off is that Petal Dance, because it is a very powerful Grass-type move, but if it does manage to get it off after 3-ish turns of using it, it'll confuse itself, which might work out in your favor. Anyway, next up, we have Gengar. Gengar is level 45 with the moves Lick, Spite, Curse, and Destiny Bond. I don't think we've seen the move Destiny Bond yet in the series. Basically what happens is, if it uses Destiny Bond and we knock it out in the same turn, we will also go down. But the nice thing is, we just got Psychic, so we can make this thing's life incredibly miserable. Down it goes. Very good. Get a lot of experience for that. And next up we have Murkrow, which is definitely an interesting one. Murkrow is level 44 with the moves Feint Attack, Whirlwind, Pursuit, and Quick Attack. This Murkrow is deceptively weak for the Elite Four. Like, you'd think it'd be very strong, but honestly, Murkrow just isn't all that good. But honestly, considering this was the generation where Dark types were introduced, there aren't really all that many, so they kind of just sort of got stuck with that Murkrow right there. I mean, it does have Whirlwind right there, which might force you to do a switch that you don't want, but I mean, Feint Attack, Pursuit, and Quick Attack really aren't gonna be doing too much damage to you. Anyway, last up, we have Houndoom, and I think we are going to send in Marowak to finally use its new Earthquake, because believe it or not, after this Houndoom, every single Pokemon we are going to be fighting in this area is going to be of the flying type. So yeah, I'd really like to get this Earthquake off. Anyway, Houndoom is level 47 with the moves Crunch, Flamethrower, Roar, and Pursuit. So just like Murkrow, this Houndoom is capable of forcing you to switch when you don't want to. Kinda funny, 2 of her Pokemon have a forced switch move, but then Umbreon has Mean Look, which forces you to stay in. Really weird, but really interesting. Anyway, Marowak's gonna get probably one of the first 2,000 plus experience yields in the series, if not the first. And Elite Four Karen was defeated. Well, aren't you good? I like that in a trainer. Strong Pokemon. Weak Pokemon. That is only the selfish perception of people. Truly skilled trainers should try to win with their favorites. I like your style. You understand what's important. Go on. The champion is waiting. And with that very, very iconic quote, I'm gonna do one last round of healing. And with that, everyone's healed. And yeah, I know, they call it the Elite Four, but they always stick the champion at the end. They always have to do that. It really should be the Elite Five, or at least they should give you some sort of advanced warning. But anyway, with that, let's move on to the final battle of the Johto region adventure. And yeah, we are doing it this time. I figured, might as well give you guys a treat. I think you guys deserve it. But with that, I've been waiting for you. David, I knew that you, with your skills, would eventually reach me here. There's no need for words now. We will battle to determine who is the stronger of the two of us. As the most powerful trainer, and as the Pokemon League champion, I, Lance the Dragon Master, accept your challenge. This music. Enough said. Champion Lance, the self-proclaimed Dragon Master, is, in my personal opinion, not a Dragon Master, because not all of his Pokemon are Dragon-type, case in point this Gyarados. Instead, all of his Pokemon are Flying-type. Another interesting characteristic that they all share, and the one you should definitely be afraid of, is the fact that they all know Hyper Beam. Keep that in mind as you go into this fight. Anyway, Gyarados is level 44, with the moves Rain Dance, Surf, Flail, and Hyper Beam. If it gets off that Rain Dance, that Surf is going to become a lot more scary. So I'd definitely keep out of its way, and I highly recommend opening up with a Pokemon with an Electric-type move, because Gyarados is quadruple weak to it. There we go. Electabuzz gets 2017 experience points. Hey, good year so far. I mean, the Switch launched. It's a good year in my book for that reason alone. Anyway, next up we have Dragonite. This is something that has me very, very terrified. Lance has a few of these. This one is level 47, and I assume it has the moves Twister, Thunder Wave, Blizzard, and Hyper Beam. He has two Dragonite that are level 47, and they are all identical, except one of them has Thunder instead of Blizzard. I'm hoping this is the one with Blizzard, because if it is, it really doesn't have much to do to my Feraligatr. Bring an Ice-type move to this fight, because 4 of Lance's Pokemon are quadruple weak, and oh, it's the Thunder one. Oh, good. So yeah, Twister, Thunder Wave, Thunder, and Hyper Beam, because we are so lucky. Anyway, gonna Ice Punch it again, and down it goes. Ugh, these things terrify me, not gonna lie. Anyway, up next is another Dragonite. It is level 47, that took a while, with the moves Twister, Thunder Wave, Blizzard, and Hyper Beam, because the last one had Thunder, this one has Blizzard. I'm not sure if there's a fixed order that he will send out these Dragonite in, so keep on your toes, because you do not want to get caught off guard and hit with a move that does devastating damage to you. And there is that Hyper Beam. Ouch. Now, the nice thing about Hyper Beam is he is unable to attack next turn, which means we can send in another member of our team to clean up, so to say. So, gonna send in Electabuzz again because it is packing Ice Punch. I figured really smart to have redundancy on my Ice-type move, because if Feraligatr were to go down, which it just did, good to have another Ice-type user on the team. And with that, Electabuzz gets level 46. Very cool. Next up, we have whoop-de-freaking-do, a third Dragonite, because they like to punish us. This Dragonite is level 50, with the moves Safeguard, Outrage, Fire Blast, and Hyper Beam. If this thing hits you with any of its moves whatsoever, you are in trouble. I consider this Dragonite in particular to basically be the final boss of the Johto half of this game, because it's insanely high leveled, it has Safeguard to protect itself from damage from its opponents, and every single move it has is going to do devastating damage to you. And Lance knows this very well. He wants to keep this thing alive as much as possible, which is why he's packing full restores. Keep that in mind. Even if you get the perfect Ice Punch and the Freeze, he's still gonna heal it off. So yeah, hit this thing with as much as you can, because if it doesn't open up with Safeguard, it is going to hit you with a devastatingly powerful move. Ugh, I'm shaking just thinking about it. Anyway, next up we have Aerodactyl. I think just to be a little fun, we're going to switch around a little bit. I think I want to switch in Espeon for this, because honestly, I want Espeon to have a time in this final battle, because I've actually never used an Espeon before outside of games where it actually appeared as a starter Pokemon, and I'd really like it to have a place in this final fight. Let's try Psychic, see how much that's going to do. Anyway, Aerodactyl is level 46, with the moves Rock Slide, Ancient Power, Wing Attack, and Hyper Beam. And it looks like it's actually going for Wing Attack right here, which is amusing. Probably one of the weaker moves on its moveset, but I guess we're just going to go for it. Honestly, I've gotten decently lucky in this fight. Like, that Dragonite opened up with Safeguard instead of Outrage or Hyper Beam or something like that. I think that was a very lucky break. Anyway, last up, we have Charizard. I think I'm going to keep Espeon in. Honestly, Feraligatr is the best Pokemon I have to go up against this Charizard, but unfortunately, I do not have my Feraligatr conscious right now, so I think we're just going to see what we can pull off. Anyway, this Charizard is level 46, with the moves Flamethrower, Wing Attack, Slash, and Hyper Beam. Some really serious stuff on there. Slash has an increased critical hit ratio, which hopefully we won't see right here. Ooh, we did. Ouch. But luckily, Espeon is faster, and it is packing Psychic, so I think we are actually good. With that, we are the champions of the Johto region. It's over. But it's an odd feeling. I'm not angry that I lost. In fact, I feel happy. Happy that I witnessed the rise of a great new champion. Phew. You have become truly powerful, David. Your Pokemon have responded to your strong and upstanding nature. As a trainer, you will continue to grow strong with your Pokemon. Oh no, it's all over. Professor Oak, if you weren't so slow. Oh, this scene. It's great. Ah, David. It's been a long while. You certainly look more impressive. Your conquest of the League is just fantastic. Your dedication, trust, and love for your Pokemon made this happen. Your Pokemon were outstanding too. Because they believed in you as a trainer, they persevered. Congratulations, David. Let's interview the brand new champion. This is getting to be a bit too noisy. David, could you come with me? Oh wait, we haven't done the interview! When the screen fades to white right there, you can see a slight silhouette of Mary for a split second, and I don't know why, but that in particular is what sticks out to me about that scene the most. Really, really strange. Anyway, it's been a long time since I last came here. This is where we honor the League champions for all eternity. Their courageous Pokemon are also inducted. Here today, we witness the rise of a new League champion. A trainer who feels compassion for and trust toward all Pokemon. A trainer who succeeded through perseverance and determination. The new League champion who has all the makings of greatness. David, allow me to register you and your partners as champions. Saving record, don't turn off. Alright. Electabuzz is a new Hall of Famer. As is Crobat. Alongside Heracross. And of course, Marowak. And we can't forget our trusty Espeon. And finally, our first partner, Feraligatr. 182 Pokemon seen, 27 Pokemon owned. Playtime 30 hours 11 minutes. I think that's pretty good, honestly. And Professor Oak says, you're getting good at this, but you have a long way to go. Yep, he can't even give us this one thing. Anyway, here we have the credits of Pokemon Crystal version, and in my opinion, one of the best credits themes in the entire game. Not the entire game, the entire series. Also worth noting, this is the last Pokemon game, I believe, that is credited to not Junichi Masuda, to Satoshi Tajiri as the director, because afterwards, Junichi Masuda and a couple of other people took over directing the series, so I guess in some way, this is the most recent and most pure incarnation of Tajiri's original vision, which is kind of interesting. Anyway, as you might imagine, as I have hinted towards, this is not quite the end of our adventure. Unlike the first generation of Pokemon, Generation 2 has a pretty extensive post-game for its time, and we are going to be moving into that post-game immediately. It's not going to be too terribly long. I have a feeling it'll probably be completely done in less than 20 parts, which means there's a good chance Crystal might end up a shorter Let's Play on my channel than Yellow, but I think we can chalk that up to the fact that I've been making the episodes longer, because I want to make the series as comprehensive as possible, because this is the first video game I ever played, and it has a very, very special place in my heart, and I really, really wanted to do it as much justice as I possibly could. And I hope you all will agree that I think I've been doing a pretty good job of it so far. Now, I also have to thank every single one of you for watching. There's been quite a bit of interactivity in the comments this time around, which I've really, really been enjoying, and I hope you all will stick around as we move into the next leg of our adventure in the world of Pokemon Crystal. So without further ado, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.